Good evening. My name is Darrell Jones. That is J period Darrelljones. And I am a co-plaintiff on this lawsuit. And I am also the president of the South Shore Park Neighborhood Association. We are here to protect the legacies of our community, period. The lawsuits that we have filed was not necessarily meant to be a catalyst for other lawsuits around the country, but if that happens to be the case, so be it. While we have been doing our research for the information that we have provided, of course we found systemic issues in that research. We know that it's not just South Shore High School or South Shore that's impacted by the items listed in our lawsuit. For our purposes though, as Natasha mentioned, we have students, we have children in our community who live in that house or this house, who walk right past this school every day, or whose parents drive them past this school every day to spend an hour in traffic just to get them to school. We as a community were sold on a negative dream with regard to selective enrollment schooling. Selective enrollment schooling in South Shore means we have children who are in the school building right around the corner that are not even from our community. How are we as a community to engage them? How are we as a community to support the school when the school has no interest in us? That's our question, and that's what we are trying to answer in our lawsuit against the Chicago Public Schools. We want to make sure, if they look at the data that we have, there is no reasonable explanation as to why this school should not be a community school. Also, in terms of the migrant situation, initially it was, oh, you guys are anti-migrant. That is not the case. That is not the case. Regardless of where someone comes from, that is correct. They need to be treated with dignity, with kindness, and open arms. We do know the impact of mass immigration on Black communities. I said that in the first press conference we had back in May, and I'll say it again. That hasn't gone anywhere. It's been ignored, but it hasn't gone anywhere. The other items that we have spoken about, and that our lawsuit speaks about, is the fact that swimming or drowning is one of the second leading causes of death for teenage or adolescent youth, Black youth. There's an Olympic-sized swimming pool in this school. So without the access to programs like swimming in this building, we are harming our children. Without us being able to manage who comes into our communities, and not just inside the building. Remember, they told us they had rules and regulations for migrants inside the building, but not outside the building. So when they touch us, there are no rules and regulations that are going to be followed. There's no 24-hour police presence. There's no any of that that was promised to us in that meeting back in May or April or whenever it was. But the bottom line is this. As the representative for the South Shore Park Neighbors Association, I say our #1 interest is this community. It is this community, it is the safety of our community, it is protecting the legacies of those who came before us in this community, and it is to make this high school a community high school so that our kids are safe, our parents are not overly harmed by having to travel so far out of the community. It is to provide time for families to spend together and not be in traffic all day. It is to provide time for our children to have study time versus being so tired for having to travel for extracurricular activities and other activities. So this is again about South Shore Park neighborhood. It's about us. It's not about anything else that you may hear out there. Thank you.
All right, okay. So we're gonna, so while